Welcome. You're about to experience something kind of transformative. We call it the digital marketer's toast. Anybody that's been around for a while, you know what I'm talking about. It's an amazing thing, right? It has this weird kind of tangible impact on the world around us. People report getting sales during the digital marketer's toast. I'm not kidding. Every time we do one of these, somebody somewhere says they feel tinglies from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet, whatever those tinglies are. Zuckerberg, I know, people don't think I'm right about this. I'm telling you, Zuckerberg, the digital marketer's toast makes him feel better. Like, that guy's like about to write an angry email to somebody, to his head of marketing. He's like, ban them all, and then we do the digital marketer's toast. And suddenly he has this moment, he pauses for a moment. He reflects, he sees a butterfly fly across his office window. And he goes, no, not today. Today's about love. And he deletes everything he's going to write and he moves on to some other task, right? That is the power of the digital marketer's toast. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Are you ready to be changed? All right, here's what I want you to do. Be receptive to the tinglies, okay? If you feel the tinglies, I want to hear it. If you get a sale during the toast, I want to hear it in the chat. Raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks. Join me now for the digital marketer's toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, to higher CTRs, much higher CVRs, to enabled ad accounts and big bank accounts, upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready? Cheers, everybody. Drink up. There we go. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. I've been waiting for that this whole time. My coffee's a little bit cold, though. I'm going to have to juice her back up here. All right. Who got the tinglies? Who got a sale? Who just got some good news? Who just got a text from somebody? Maybe an estranged loved one. You just got a text and they were like, hey, I'd like to talk again. That's the kind of stuff that happens. Someone watching this that just took the toast probably just got a knock on the door from their significant other, fiance, boyfriend, girlfriend, something like that, and they just bought them a puppy. That probably just happened, right? Someone right now is being blessed with a baby puppy. Can you believe that? Seriously, people. Seriously. That's the power of the toast. All right, Martin here got a sale. That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, all you naysayers out there, you don't think it does anything. It does. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, there's power in the toast. All right? Okay. All right, let's get into it. We got to get it. We got to get this show on the road here. Can't just tell jokes the whole time. Okay. We are doing your product teardowns today. Product teardowns today. So, what is a product teardown for those of you that are new? Well, we have done a ton of teaching and instruction on what makes a good product here at ShineOn. And there are a few elements that if you want to make any sales, you kind of need to have, right? So you need to be able to follow the greeting card format. So it needs to say who it's to. You need to have a really good body, like phrase text, and then you need who it's from. We say around here, it's the phrase that pays. If they cry, they'll buy, right? We say if it feels, it's real, right? So your phrase has to move people emotionally, and it can be any emotion. But the more emotion you can elicit in the person that is reading the phrase, the more likely they are to buy. Now, I'm a little bit distracted here. There we go. I don't know why my GIF wasn't playing. So, all of you buckle up. This is Hell's POD Kitchen. Your products are going to face the heat. Angry Michael is about to come out. Probably not. I'm not sure I have an angry side. I was going to cuss like a pirate. For those of you that joined late, I had found the soundboard that had these bleep effects. And I was going to cuss like a freaking pirate this whole live stream. And I was just going to bleep it all out. But I couldn't get it to push the bleeps through the live stream. So unfortunately, I can't do that. We are going to keep this PG-13. Those of you that are watching this with your kids around or whatever, don't worry. It's still a safe show for now. We'll see how ridiculous and stupid these products are, though. First, you never know. I may drop an F-bomb coming at you. All right. Anything I say from here on out, I say with love. Okay. I say with love. Please remember that. Please remember that. Okay. Are you ready for this? Let's do it. So the first one I'm going to get into, somebody linked me to their entire webpage, and I thought, I probably just need to tear down the entire website because there are some issues here with the site that I want to address. Now, I blocked out the logo. Can we see my cursor here? Let's see. How do I get a laser pointer? Stand by. Stand by. Got my pen. Oh, man. Huh. Wonder why I thought there was like a laser pointer in here. Well, at any rate, just is what it is. So here we are. This is the website. Now, what are some issues with the website? Well, the thing that really stood out to me that I was like, oh man, we got some huge problems here. Before I even looked at the product was all of this stuff down here. This is all the stuff that we're expecting the buyer to fill out in order to buy the product. And it was really this one here that stood out to me. Like I kind of get this and this and this, and these are all part of our product page anyway, which, is kind of fine, I think. This one here, though, is a big problem for me. What is LS? Like, has anybody ever heard? Oh, people need me to zoom in here. Okay. Let's see. How can I do this differently? Bear with me. I don't want to go that far. There we go. Gosh dang it. Okay. We may just have to try this. Okay. So, I don't know what LS means, right? And look, if you've ever heard a confused mind doesn't buy, a confused mind says no, right? So this little, it's just, you don't want to use acronyms. This should all be as easy to understand as possible, right? All of it should be as easy to understand as possible. I'm not even sure, just looking at the product, what line 1, message line 1, 2, or whatever refers to. So anyway, we have huge problems here just on the product page before you even get to, if this was compelling, right? If somebody wanted to buy this, there's a good chance they would not even be able to figure out how, right? It's common sense that a buyer needs to be able to navigate your page easily and as frictionlessly as possible. So you got to clean this up. You got to clean this up big time. Another thing is, what the crap is this thing, right? This is starting to look like a drop shipping store to me. And a lot of people are familiar with drop shipping stores these days, especially people on Facebook, because they've been ripped off by them at one point or another. So look, get this off the page. The other thing is, this is probably slowing down your load times because the thing is freaking gigantic, right? If you're going to put something like this on the page, it should be small, maybe the size of an icon, and get rid of all the text. You can have a badge. In fact, they've done conversion rate optimization studies that have shown having badges and things like that, especially on your checkout page, it makes people feel like, they can trust the website and stuff, and it can actually increase conversions. But good grief. Let me zoom out just so you can see. Look how big the freaking thing is. It's almost as big as the product. That's crazy. What's the matter with you? All right, there's my Gordon Ramsey coming out a little bit. So that's a big freaking problem, and you don't want all that stuff. So let me delete all this. I don't know why that keeps popping up here. It's driving me a little bit nuts. All right. So let's get into the product now. So to my gorgeous, does it say Jemima? Like, okay, I don't know what that name is. I've not heard the name. So to my gorgeous something. I'm trying to be delicate here because this might be like a cultural kind of thing, and maybe this product is meant for, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but I don't recognize Jemima. It doesn't even occur to me that that's a name. In fact, when I first landed here, and my eye scans the page, and in a quarter of a second, I'm getting impressions from the page. I literally thought that the rest of this was going to be in Spanish. I thought it was going to be in a different language. Mainly because, like, at first glance, I didn't really see the J. I just saw the like Emima, and it made me, I don't know, reminding me of like maybe some Spanish words or something like that. So I was surprised when I read the rest of this, and I saw that it was in fact English. So if you're selling to an English audience, or no, here, let me say this differently. You need to know who the demographic is you're selling to, and you need to make this user-friendly and intuitive for the demographic, right? So the Jemima, this is not a common name. I don't know if I've ever met anybody named Jemima. And like, by the way, not even in like nursing homes, I don't think I've ever met somebody named, I've never played bingo with somebody named Jemima, okay? So you need to use a name that's common, all right? Jessica, Sarah, Adam, John, something like that, right? Or if in your demographic there are specific names that are common, use those. But this, I don't know what's going on here, all right? So come on. Okay? All right, next, let's read it. So first of all, you do follow the greeting card format. You've got who it's to, you've got the phrase, and then you have who it's from. That's good. So good on you for doing that. So to my gorgeous Jemima, in your love, my world is complete. Each knot symbolizes our unbreakable bond, reflecting the joy you bring. Grateful for the endless love you shower upon me. My forever. All my love, Chris. Okay, so a few things here. First of all, did you even read this phrase? So it's not bad up until like this part. Gosh dang it, man. Okay. Well, I was going to use a pen. I'm putting the pen away. We're going to use my mouse because I don't know how to get that keyboard from not to show up. Okay, so we're back to the mouse. All right, so here's the thing. All the endless, let's see, grateful for the endless love you shower upon me. That's just weird. It's just a weird, for me, that's a weird like way to express that. Maybe you say grateful for the endless love you you bring to me, you give to me. Grateful for the endless love we share. But showering it upon you, it's just odd. It's odd. Okay. Phil here says Jemima is common in the South. I'll bet you $10 it's not. Have you ever met anybody under 40 named Jemima? That's my question. And maybe you have. Maybe I'm like just off my rocker here, but I have not. Okay. So anyways, back to this phrase. So the shower thing is just freaking odd. And then it's also kind of weird that it's like the endless love we share, or I'm sorry, you shower upon me, my forever. I mean, like, did you even read the phrase first? Like my forever and then all my love, Chris. So anyway, that's a problem. So I would definitely kill my forever. I think the phrase is actually salvageable, believe it or not. So in your love, my world is complete. Each knot symbolizes our unbreakable bond, reflecting the joy you bring. Grateful for the endless love we share. All my love, Chris. So maybe you change all my love because it's going to be redundant because you got love here in two places. But then it can probably say Chris. So that's not bad, right? The phrase itself is not bad. Now, how on earth you customize this phrase here is like beyond me. No buyer is ever going to figure this out. So the phrase has potential, but the page is killing it. If you're running traffic to this, you're going to be losing money. So what is the verdict here? Let's see. What is the verdict? The verdict is you need to just wake up a bit, okay? You need to just wake up a bit. You're testing my patience. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, man. Okay. This one. This one. By the way, we'll do some of these together here towards the end. All right. So does it follow the greeting card format? Well, yeah. Who it's to, then it's got the message, and then it says forever and always. It doesn't always have to say like, love dad or husband or whatever. It can just say forever and always. The bottom line is you typically need some kind of sign off on the phrase. This does accomplish that. So you're going to get a pass. Okay. Now let's read it. To my wife, may this sparkle remind you of the twinkle in your eye. May this sparkle remind you of the twinkle in your eyes. May this sparkle of the twinkle in your eyes that brightens my world. As you wear this piece, know that you carry not just a jewel, but a reflection of the joy and love you bring into our lives every day. So first of all, here's my question. I don't know who did this. Again, don't take any of this personally. We're having fun today, okay? But do you even care? Do you even care about this message card at all and like how it looks and like trying to create something that doesn't suck? Look at this. These are the lines are on top of each other. They're touching each other. It looks like my 2-year-old took out her bucket of alphabet pieces and just dumped it on the floor. Like it's like a mess of characters right here. It's so busy. No one is going to be able to read this. The font choice is horrible, right? Because you're using is it serif or sans serif? I always mess this up. Hang on. We're going to find out. Sans serif versus serif. Let's go. We're having fun today, people. We're having fun today, people. I'm in character. I'm not usually a jerk like this. Okay, it's serif. It's serif. Okay, see how serif fonts, they're fonts that have these little feet on them. And then sans serif fonts don't have the feet. Sans serif fonts are clean. They're cleaner. In fact, I think sans means without. So try to cram that in my brain here real quick. All right, so let's get back here. So look at this, though. Not only did you pick a phrase and then make sure all the lines are literally touching each other. So there's like no breathing room here. Not only that, but like you picked a serif font. So you picked a busy looking font. And then not only that, like if this wasn't enough right here, if this like vomit of characters on the page wasn't enough, it's like, no, you really wanted to screw your chance of sales. So you made stuff bold and underlined stuff. I mean, this is just so busy here. It's difficult to read. I mean, look, if you were 50 or 60 years old, how are you going to read this? And I'm not being like disparaging. How are you going to read it? Huh? You can't read this. Not only that. So this is just my feedback on this here. This is just my feedback on this here. What are you doing with this? What is this little like thing back here? You can't even tell what it is. This is crazy. So anyway, my question for you on this one is, did you even care? Because this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. So again, totally mean this in love. I'm in character today. We're doing this Gordon Ramsey thing. I'm not usually that mad, but here's the verdict on this one. All right. Here's the verdict on this one. What are you, an idiot sandwich? Okay, I'm kidding. Guys, really, I'm kidding here. I'm actually feeling bad even doing any of this. Look, I'm just giving you straight feedback on this. Usually not this blunt about things. Look, you are following. I have to break character here because I just can't do it. It's just not who I am. Look, you are following the training and the feedback, so that's good. You've got some things going for you in this. You're following the greeting card format. You clearly are trying to find phrases that are going to move people emotionally, but you have some big design problems here on this. Okay, that's just going to scare people away. It's so weird. It's too busy. You're not going to want that. You're clipping, like To My Wife is almost clipping out of the render. Forever and Always is basically falling out down here. And this here is just, it's so busy. You got to fix that. Like you need to add spacing in between the lines. ditch the serif font. It's crazy. You need to improve that. Okay. So anyway, you're kind of heading the right direction. You definitely need some work on this. Also, drop these little stars. I know what you're trying to do here with, like, you're playing on the sparkle and twinkle theme and all that kind of stuff, but the stars just make this whole thing look busy, and they don't look good anyway because, again, they're clipping. They're like, there's like no negative space in between the design and the edge, right? So it's a problem. It's a problem. So you need to fix all that stuff. Okay, let's go to the next one. We'll do a few of these together in just a moment. All right, so this one, greeting card format. You got to my daughter, you have the phrase, and then you have the sign off. So all that's good, no problem. It's also that's congruent. There's congruency between the niche and the jewelry item. So that's always good. I like to see congruency there. We haven't had any congruency problems so far on today's teardowns. So that's been good. Let's read the phrase. To my daughter, you light up my life. To my daughter, you light up my life every single day. I'm proud of you more than words can say. I'll always be here cheering you on. My love for you will never be gone. May life be kind, fun, and sweet. With every smile, my heart skips a beat. Chase your dreams, laugh a lot too. Remember my daughter, I'll always love you. This isn't that bad. You light up my life every single day. I'm more proud of you than words can say. I will tell you that when you're gonna rhyme, typically the first line, the first like stanza, is this a stanza? The first stanza, the first line, whatever it is gonna set the like tempo for the rest of it. And I wouldn't ditch like what you're going for here, but you might want to kind of work with this a little bit because it's a little choppy and it's hard for me to kind of realize that it's rhyming. And it could just be the way the characters are laid out. So you light up my life every single day. I'm proud of you more than words can say. I'll always be here cheering you on. My love for you will never be gone. Yeah, I don't know. We're struggling here a little bit. May life be kind, fun, and sweet. With every smile, my heart skips a beat. Chase your dreams, laugh a lot too. Remember my daughter, I'll always love you. All right, so look, it rhymes. Rhyming is cute. A lot of people resonate with rhymes. It's actually not that bad. It may resonate with an audience, right? So like you're kind of on the right track here. You're going for something emotional. You're going for something that's sentimental, that resonates. Rhyming always helps with that. So actually, there's a lot here going for this. I would work with the stanzas a little bit. Look, if you're going to ChatGPT and ChatGPT is just spitting stuff out at you, you almost always got to wordsmith it a little bit, right? It's going to be rare that you're going to be able to just like blindly accept what ChatGPT spits out. I'm not sure if that's what's going on here or not, but I would work with this a little bit. Now, you're using interlocking hearts, you're using dot, like it's a daughter niche, all that's good. Here's my feedback and way to improve this. First of all, notice that like your characters here are kind of in shadow. I think it may make this slightly difficult to read. I would experiment with making the text just slightly smaller, and maybe left aligning the text. Maybe left aligning this text and right aligning this text. That way you kind of like, you kind of get it to the edges, and it should open up and create a little bit of space around the jewelry item. And hopefully it makes the words a little bit easier to read as well. The next thing I'll say is I'm not really a fan of the cursive down here. I'm completely fine with it up here because it's big enough. It's like easy to read. It doesn't really bother me. Down here though, it just feels a little bit busy. I wonder if these are the same fonts. Yeah, I think they're the same fonts. Yeah, it looks like the same fonts. It feels a little busy. I mean, you might try to make it bold. That might make it a little easier to read, but I'm kind of struggling with this down here at the bottom. So that's my feedback on this one. I'm curious in the community, what feedback do you have on this one? Is there anything I'm missing? Anything I'm missing here? anything. I kind of like the black background with the black box. I mean, it feels elegant. I will say this, that with the black background, the black background makes it very dramatic, makes it very serious, and that might contrast quite a bit with the rhyming and the phrase, because the phrase is more like cutesy, and less like serious. But the design and the color scheme is more serious, right? So that's something that, if you end up getting like good click-through rate, lots of add to carts, and few purchases, it might be something to experiment with. All right, so somebody says it looks too busy. Yeah, I can kind of see that. There's definitely an issue with some balance going on here. Like, it's just weird to have all this space. I don't know. There's some design stuff that could potentially be improved. I would tell you this, though. A lot of times, especially when you're testing, you don't want to throw crap out into when you're running ads. You want to get the product about as good as you can before you run ads. But to me, this may be an acceptable level to test with. I would probably try the left align and right align stuff, but I would probably test this. And if you get any traction, then you could always work to improve it. So, okay, let's see. You could even use just the bottom text rather than the entire poem. Yeah, that's 100% true. To my daughter, may life be kind, fun, and sweet. With every smile, my heart skips a beat. Chase your dreams, laugh a little too. Remember, my daughter, always love you. Yeah, I agree with that. I still think you've got a bit of a contrast issue with how serious this, like, the design is compared to the phrase. Like, you even have these like kind of Victorian squiggly things, which are nice. They make it feel high quality, but it's like a cute phrase with a very serious, dramatic presentation. That's the phrase itself may do better on like acrylic or something too. In fact, I would even say I could easily see this being an acrylic item with like maybe like a cutesy picture of like an animal, and like it personalized, right? So instead it could say, to my daughter Emma, or Bella, or whatever some daughter names are. To my daughter Jessica, you light up my life with a cute little pony or something on it. You light up my life every single day. I'm more proud of you than words can say. I'll always be here cheering you on, for my love for you will never be gone. Yeah, I seriously think you could do something like that, and you could make that work. Okay, so daughter could be smaller. Yeah, it could be a little bit smaller so it's not covered by the chain. That's a really good point. That'll also reduce how busy it feels. So that's a great call out. I totally missed that. I justify left and right for the side paragraphs. Yep. Get rid of the pink lines. Yeah, I almost thought about saying that too. Like again, it comes down to like the tone of the gift, the little splash of pink here. Whenever you're using pinks and reds, it starts to bend the product towards being a little bit more romantic, right? Now, pink is fun and cutesy and definitely can work on a daughter gift, but it just, I don't know. Yeah, so you're on to something, but there's definitely some work to be done here to improve this slightly. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So next one. Here we go. To my beautiful daughter. Gordon Ramsay wants to come back out, people. To my daughter, to my beautiful daughter, from the moment you came into my life, my heart swelled with love and pride. You are a source of endless joy and a constant reminder of the beauty in this world. Your laughter, your spirit, and your strength have made my life richer in ways I could never have imagined. I love you endlessly, baby girl, from Dad. Okay. There are some issues here. So start with the good. You got the greeting card format. Okay, great. I don't know what possessed you to pick this font, but this font has got to go. That font is crazy. I don't know why we'd pick a font like that. You may as well pick Papyrus or something, or wing bats or whatever the heck it is. Like, it's goofy. It's difficult to read. It's worse than a serif font. It's worse than that Times New Roman one we just looked at. It looks like bones or something like that. So the font is crazy. You got to go simple here on the font. This is nuts. I'm totally okay with the daughter here. Totally okay with that. It's big. It's elegant. All that's fine. This font is nuts. You're not going to sell one of these. If you sell any of these, I will be shocked. So you got to get rid of that 100%. Also, when you think about who's buying this gift, if it's really a dad, like, what are we doing with the flowers and stuff? Like, I'm not sure that this is going to appeal to a dad. Like, it maybe. I don't know. This feels like something that was designed for a grandma, but is being sold to a dad, right? I am okay with this jewelry piece for daughter, but I think the interlocking hearts will probably do you a little bit better. Interlocking hearts just does really, really well on the in the daughter, like, family type of space. Let's see. In terms of the phrase, I don't think the phrase there's nothing like standing out that feels special to me about the phrase that's going to move somebody like emotionally. From the moment you came into my life, my heart swelled with love and pride. You are a source of endless joy and a constant reminder of the beauty in this world. Your laughter, your spirit, your strength have made my life richer in ways I never could have imagined. I mean, okay. So look, the phrase, like, it's sentimental. It's like serious sentimental. It's not cute. Maybe you could do something with the phrase. Maybe you could do something with the phrase here. But I don't know. The phrase isn't quite doing it for me, dog. Okay. And then another thing you got going on here is, I don't know if you have an alignment thing. Weird. Oh, it's not alignment. Okay. So the fact that if you look at how fat this side of the phrase is, and then you look at this, you have like a weird problem with the way the words are laid out here that's definitely impacting your design. And it's because it's not symmetrical. Like, you don't even have the illusion of it being symmetrical because of the design, like, what do you call this? Like, word design, let's say, phrase design here. Because this, like, it narrows. You know what I mean? It's like coming to a bottleneck down here. You know what I'm saying? Where this here is like kind of fat and choppy. And you need to keep, they need to be symmetrical because you need to maintain balance. And like, if you maintain balance and you maintain symmetry, it feels less busy. That's why you want that. I thought, at first, you probably heard me kind of stumbling a little bit. I thought it was an issue of alignment, but actually both of these are center aligned, right? It's just that here, the way you've chosen to break up the phrase, it gives us this weird effect. So anyway, that's kind of weird. All right, so now let's move on. I spent enough time on that. Let's see. I love you endlessly, baby girl. It's a little bit of a weird sign off because all of this feels really mature to me. Like, in fact, this feels mature. Flowers here feel mature. I mean, this feels like a gift for somebody that's a little older. But then the sign off is, I love you endlessly, baby girl. And I don't know, my daughters too. Like, maybe it's normal to be calling your daughter baby girl when she's in her 20s and 30s or whatever. But that just strikes me as a little bit odd. And then I'm also not sure you need the from part here, right? Because it could just say, I love you endlessly, baby girl, dad, or something like that. Anyway, that just struck me as odd too, is like this here. It's the design of it that strikes me as odd. So anyway, there's some issues here. The last thing I'll say is there's kind of a weird problem with balance, like in the design. Like, this whole side feels super busy. I think it's because you got this weird thing going on. You got the flowers going on. They're only on one side, so you don't have the symmetry. Then the salutation part is like kind of like right aligned a little bit. So it's just, yeah, it's not even centered up. It's just, I don't know. That whole thing is weird. Okay, let's see some feedback from the group. Feedback from the group. Anything I missed here? And then this next one, you guys are going to do with me. Someone says it's not centered. Move to my daughter and both the signature lines to the left. Oh, that's a great point. I think I was so zoomed in I couldn't see that. What they're saying is, I think daughter is centered. Here, I'm probably not going to be able to do this. Can I draw a line? So I think centered would be like here, maybe something like that would be the center line. And what this user is calling out, your Facebook user, sorry, I don't know who you are, is this here is not centered and this here is not centered. I did catch this, right? And that is just, it's making it feel really weird. Really weird. All right, Tammy, grammar police. I love you endlessly, baby girl, not baby girl. Oh, that's a good call too. Totally. Yep. You should capitalize baby girl for sure because it's a what? Proper noun. Is that right, Tammy? Let's see. They're working with center alignment. Yeah. ChatGPT is killing us unless, as Michael said, we look closely and rework with the product and audience. 100%. Like ChatGPT is an amazing tool. It spits out a ton of cool stuff, especially on the phrase side of the house. But you can't just take you can't just take the phrase right out of ChatGPT and apply it. You got to do a little bit of wordsmithing, not a lot. I mean, it's still doing 95% of the work for you. There's just a polish you got to kind of come in and add to it. All right. Oh my gosh. Text boxes are different sizes. Copy first one and use for second side. Maybe. It might be. The biggest thing I notice is balance. Yeah. Okay. So just an experience will get better after product teardowns. Yeah. Look, if this is yours, and I'm not saying it is, we do product teardowns every now and then. We typically do them like out of fun and stuff. This Gordon Ramsey thing is kind of a joke I was doing. I just can't be mean is the problem. Not to someone that's trying to learn anyway. Okay, let's keep going. All right, this one we're doing together. So I want you all to take a look at this, take it in, and then we're going to critique it together. So let me make sure it's big enough that you can read it. I'll read it out loud, and I want you all to help me with the teardown, okay? So to my daughter, and it's the Alluring Beauty is the product. To my daughter, I love you. Whoops, sorry. To my daughter, I laugh with you day and night. You are my star. You are my light. Like stars above, my love for you climbs. Nothing will change that, not even time. Love, Dad. Love, Dad. So give me your feedback. Let's see what you got. So, punctuation. I laugh with you day and night. You are my star. You are my light. Yeah, so there is an issue here. That's a really good catch, too. If you're going to use punctuation at all, right? So if you're going to use commas or anything like that, then you need to insert your periods. Whoops, that would be a comma there, period here, comma there, period here. You need to do that. Don't just like do half of the punctuation. That is pretty weird. That is really weird. Okay, what else we got? Need periods. Yeah, so they weren't the only one to catch that. The yellow on star and light don't work. Draws my attention to those words first. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. Like if you, yeah, totally. Like the first thing you see, it's not the jewelry, it's not who it's to, it is just light and star. That's totally correct. Yeah, I think that's a problem. You might be able to bold them still. I wouldn't. You might be able to bold them still and just keep it white, so that it's simple. All right, what else we got? It's not bad after punctuation, really. I'm struggling a little bit with the word climbs. It just feels weird, but I don't know. And I'm not the only one that caught that. Rita, my love for you climbs is odd. Yep. I keep losing my mouse here. Where'd it go? There it is. Yellow has to go. Maybe use capitals in white to make it stand out. Yeah, you could. There's a few different ways you could probably emphasize that. So agree with you there. I don't think a star is climbing. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so good. I'm not the only one. The climb thing isn't working. You're going to have to find a different word. So probably that probably means, unfortunately, this whole thing needs rewritten, because I don't know if you're going to find another word that's going to rhyme with time. Like stars above. Maybe, no, here you go. Like stars above, my love for you shines. Nothing will change that, not even time. So it doesn't proper rhyme, but it sounds like it rhymes. If this were a country song, you could get away with it. So why not here? Maybe the yellow should go. Yep. Designs make it look cheaper to me. Yeah, okay. I'm glad somebody kind of brought this up. All these stars and then like the trees down here, it makes it start to feel a little clip arty, right? Little clip arty. And that's going to make it feel cheap. So I agree with that. Maybe go all black background, so the words stand out more. Yeah, I agree. I actually think all black, maybe even like a deep navy blue, those would all work well. Necklace doesn't match daughter. Look, I think alluring beauty, I think you can get away with that in the daughter niche, but the best one, it really is just interlocking hearts. It's tried and true, works really well. Interlocking hearts tends to be the best one. Yellow color took away the luxuriousness. Yeah, I could see that. Yellow takes away from the elegant design in the product. Yep, two people saying the same thing here. Apart from punctuation in yellow, it's the best so far today. Yeah, it's not bad. Maybe put is infinite instead of climbs. Yeah, the problem is as soon as you make it is infinite, it stops rhyming. So shines is probably the word. Yeah, Isabella, I think you're right. What's up, Isabella? How are we doing? Isabella is in Launchpad, by the way. Glad to see you here. Stars are too busy. Get rid of the third line and it will sound better. Could. Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next one. I think we kind of got this. Again, we're going to do this one together. Oh, this is a website. So this will be a fun one to do together. Controls here, kind of frustrating. All right, so here's a website. This is a journal. I wanted to bring a different kind of product here. I didn't have any, as far as I know, nobody submitted acrylic. So this is a journal. So first of all, let me back up. There's a reason I brought the whole site in here. And I'm going to kind of lead with the teardown, and then we can do the product together. Even though it's a journal, all the same principles apply, okay? My big issue with this is this is a drop shipping site. You have apparel, you have gadgets, you have home improvement and tools, you have outdoor beauty. Oh, and mugs. Yeah, right. Like no one's going to take this seriously. They're not going to feel like it's got authority. It feels like a cheap drop shipping site. This is a problem. This is a huge problem. You do not want to do this. Like, try to make a brand. And your brand can't be everything. Like, you cannot start the freaking Walmart of e-commerce brands. It's not going to work. So, like, this is just oh my gosh, it's just a huge problem. With all this down here, too, it just feels so cheap to me. Like, no one is going to do this. All of this stuff, it's distracting. Oh my gosh. Like this is just not build a brand. Try to build a brand, okay? It can be a family gifts brand and you can bring in other kinds of family gifts, but like you got a dress on here. You have a pink dress that you're selling on the same site where you're trying to sell these sentimental family acrylic items and journals, and mugs, and I bet you jewelry's on here too. I bet you jewelry's tucked away, probably in beauty. This is a problem. All right. I'll be shocked if you're making any sales on this. Okay. Okay, so let's get into the journal now. Let's get into the journal. Here's what I would recommend. Whoever owns this site, you need to either come to this website. I can't remember the name of the site. In fact, I do recall that the name is probably not salvageable because it sounds like a drop shipping store. Okay. So whatever guru kind of told you to do this, go back and get your money back. So here's what I would do. Start a new store. I don't think it's salvageable, not with the name. Start a brand new store. Just use the Dawn theme, right? It's free on Shopify's website. Use that to kind of start with. It's simple. There's lots of training out there for it, that kind of thing. Make it like a branded store. Go after a specific niche, right? It can be family themed gifting. It's fine with me. But then every product on there needs to have like this family gifting kind of angle to it. I'm not talking about toiletry bags. And I'm not talking about, personalized toiletry bags and stuff, man. I'm talking about like gifts with sentimental messages on them. So that would be blankets, jewelry, acrylic, metal art prints. As long as it's the sentimental phrase, it can be personalized stuff. You can even do some customly things with some characters, right? There's a lot you can get into, like a really nice branded store around that. But don't add this stuff to it, and then with your metal art prints start doing AI generated art and stuff. It's not going to work. It's going to clash with the brand. Okay. So, all right, let's talk about this now. What are your critiques on this right here? What are your critiques on this right here? May as well sell dog beds. I bet you pets are probably on here somewhere. They're probably right here. They're just not categorized yet. Probably selling vapes also. It gives it a flea market vibe. Yeah. I've seen this. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the design now. What feedback do we have on the design? The text is small. Yeah, it is pretty tiny for sure. It allows people's name to show up. To allow people's name to show up in Coach Ace. I don't see it working on Facebook. Maybe Etsy. Yeah, I agree with that. This isn't going to work on Facebook because you don't have a phrase. Like, people on Facebook, they're going after the impulse buy, and they're only going to pick this up if you have a phrase on it that moves them emotionally, or you have some kind of like personalization angle to it that they're not going to find anywhere else. Yeah, you're not going to find it. This may, if this is going to sell, and I don't think it is, if it was going to sell, it'd probably sell on Etsy. Okay, it'd probably sell on Etsy. I'll tell you why I don't think it's going to sell. But I want to give other people some time here. Can't read past January. Yeah, they can't read the carnation hope or whatever. Here's why this isn't going to sell. Why on earth is somebody going to buy a journal with a freaking month on it? Like, who's going to buy a journal that says January? Even if you're born in January, why would you buy one that says January? Like, I don't have anything in my house that says January on it except a freaking calendar. Right? Like this needs to be personalized. I see what you're doing, right? You're trying to say, here is a flower that's like the January birth flower or whatever it is. That's fine. But then why don't you make this a personal, an area of personalization where you can put somebody's name. So it says Monica or Jessica or whatever the name is, right? And then I get rid of carnation and hope because again, you're going with this monthly theme thing, but it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. If you look on Etsy, there are so many good ideas on Etsy for how to do this. I'm going to pop over to Etsy real quick. Let's just type like personalized birth flower journal. I don't even know if there is one, but we'll see. Yeah, look at this. You got kind of a flower thing with personalization on it. Here's one. That's how I would do this. Here's one with a little bit more text. Let's read what this says. April, sweet pea and daisy, loyal, confident. So maybe you could do something like that, that reflects like personality. But carnation, Like, let's go back to this. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Dude, this says carnation. Look at that. What the heck does that mean? That's not a personality trait, you know? So anyway, you can pull this off. There's a lot of other cool stuff you can do with the journals too. Like, just look at this. Personalized journals. Here's one where you actually have like a birthday on it. Can you guys see this? Here's where we're getting some ideas. I see it. Carnation now. I don't like that. I think that's stupid. But it does have a name and it's got a birthday. You could maybe do something like that on it, you know? So there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with the journals. You just need to like try to get some inspiration here. Try to get some inspiration here before you get into it. But this is not going to work. This is not good at all. So whoever did this, yeah, good luck. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, let's do this one together. This might be the last one we do. Last one we do here. Let's do this one together. I'll read it. Sorry, I'm trying to make it big enough for you guys. There we go. I'll read it, and I want to see your feedback. What could we do to improve this? What is the teardown? Here we go. To the man of my dreams, my husband, I didn't marry you so that I could live with you. I married you because I can't live without you. Never forget that I love you, Christina. All right. What do we got? Huh? What feedback do we have? Drop it in the comments. Let's do this one together. Okay, alignment. Yeah, there's what, like, right? The alignment thing is a bit of a problem. I'm bringing back a. Can we not get our alignment straight, people? Huh? Can we not do it? All right, what else do we got? Too many font size changes. Yeah, that's going to give it this overall like kind of busy feeling. So you definitely have that going on. Like this font's a different size. This is 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 a different size. And that's a different size. That's going to make this feel super busy. So yeah, too many different fonts and change sizes. Caps, Christina small, husband misaligned. Caps. What do you mean by caps? You're talking about how it's inconsistent because up here, the T and 2 should probably be capitalized, and it's not. Yeah, it's very inconsistent, the use of caps here. We don't really know what's going on. We're using case titling, sentence case. What the heck are we doing here? They also said that Christina is small. That was something I was going to call out. Christina is like barely visible to the naked eye here. Like you can barely see it. It's super freaking tiny. So if you're selling this, like in running ads, and you want this to be, you want people to see, oh, I can personalize this item, I should buy it. Well, you need to make the name bigger. I would also argue, and it may look better when it's bigger, but like you got to be careful when you use cursive on the personalization because it can be somewhat difficult to read in your mock-up. Like see how it says Christina here, and it's just this like mess of letters all together because of the cursive and how tiny it is. So you just got to be careful with that because that can scare some people away also. All right, let's see what else we got. Capitalize 2. Yeah, the T and 2. Yep. Husband's misaligned. Yep. Husband's not centered. Husband. Everyone's catching that. So the don't live together. Oh, yeah. So that's an interesting. That is an interesting catch. So I've never read the phrase that way, but I suppose you could read this phrase. So the way I read this phrase is these two people are married, and it's just this expression of love where it's like, I didn't marry you to live with you. I married you because I can't live without you, right? However, this person is reading it as though they're not living together, right? Like as though what's prompting the gift and the phrase is that like these two people maybe are apart, and the what's trying to be expressed here is like, hey, I can't live without you. Like we need to be together again. I've never read this phrase that way before, ever. I think the reason Facebook user is reading it this way is because the thought gets broken with the way the text is split up. This is what I think is happening here. Not positive. This is what I think is happening here. Let's see. Grammar police are so overwhelmed, they've moved districts. That's awesome. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. And Tammy is really good at this too. She could be an editor. Husband's too big, the rest too small. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything we haven't covered yet? Christina's too small. To the man is too much. To the man. Okay. They're saying to the man of my dreams is too much. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Look, it's a lot of that's going to come down to the relationship between the husband and the wife. I mean, keep in mind, we've sold 1,000 items before where it's like to my, well, I'm trying to think of some of the more crazy ones, but it's very common to see the to my gorgeous wife, to my breathtaking wife. You see some of those too, but to the man of my dreams. Yeah, I could see how that's a little, it does feel slightly cheesy. Like, have you ever seen the joke t-shirts where it's like, here I am, married the man of my dreams, living the life, whatever. And the joke is that it's typically the husband buying it for the wife. It does start to feel that way a little bit. So I kind of feel you on that. Looks like a ransom note. I will say, now that there's this like, I can't live without you thing that the other person pointed out, there is this place where it feels like a little stalkerish, right? You could see like kind of like a crazy person getting this for a crazy stalker getting it for their stalky. Okay. I'm not really seeing anything new. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say to it real quick. The jewelry item works, right? This is very good, very popular in the husband, boyfriend niche. I will also add that like, this is a good niche to get into. A lot of people overlook this niche, but it's a good one. If you hit a winning product here, there's very little competition in this space. In fact, I recommended a personal friend of mine, get into kind of ShineOn jewelry and stuff. And he sold into this niche. And he did really well. It was virtually uncontested, and he made quite a bit of profit, and he went on a really nice vacation because of it. So this niche can really work well. So I kind of liked seeing that niche in the teardowns, but I agree with basically everybody else. This is misaligned. You got all kinds of font size issues. There's something going on with the phrase where like splitting it up is like breaking the meaning in the phrase. And then this is really tiny. And even when you make that bigger, you may need to change the font because I will just tell you, Christina is a little difficult to read right now because the font choice is a problem. So, all right. I think we need to wrap this up. How do you feel about that? Did you find this helpful today? Let me know in the chat. Did you find this helpful? Were these teardowns helpful? If you're new here, first time here, you just getting into message cards, maybe just getting into jewelry, family gifting, maybe you're building your site. Was today's lesson helpful? Please let me know in the chat right now. Cindy says, Chobi rather, says, I want to do more teardowns. Yeah, the teardowns are fun. Now, do you want to do the teardowns with Gordon Ramsay or Michael Christ? That's the question, huh? Okay, everybody. All right, until next time. If you have not signed up for ShineOn yet and you want to start selling, you want kind of the life-changing experience that the rest of our merchants have, go to shineon.com. You can sign up. It takes like 60 seconds, and you can make your account for free. Do me a favor, if you're on YouTube, go over to Facebook. Make sure you're watching it. The Facebook has an incredible community, and you're seriously, you got some screws loose. If you're not in our Facebook group, it's absolutely amazing. If you're in the Facebook group and you haven't subscribed and signed up for notifications on the YouTube channel, hey, go over there, give us some love. We'd appreciate it. You can also follow us on Instagram, and you can always leave us a review. All right, everybody. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, happy selling. Take care, everybody.